I think since the beginning, this has been one of the biggest frustrations for the defenders on the ground. Since the beginning of the work that we've begun, time after time, defenders and lawyers came to us and they said, you know, we can't find any support because all the funders say it's the government responsibility, right? And we kept coming together. I mean, I almost went insane. I live in Geneva, and we have meeting after meeting after meeting about, you know, can we talk about, you know, the right to not be tortured? I mean, this was passed in 1948, right? Universal Declaration of Human Rights, right not to be tortured. We've passed every single thing. And yet we keep having these conferences where we talk about how to make it better, you know, how do we protest better, how do we do this, how do we do that? And actually the laws are there, they need to be implemented. And I think one of the bigger issues where we've had to become creative is that I used to get this response oftentimes from funders who said, it's the government's responsibility, so yes, people are being tortured. Yes, the governments may allow you to come in and us to come in to help support these people by giving them a lawyer, but we can't do it because it's their responsibility. And I think that it's actually ridiculous when you see people being tortured every single day. And we've seen it, I mean, just even recently in Burundi, we had this big, huge, crazy thing because, you know, we had over 100 people who were picked up, tortured. Mothers were calling our office saying, you know, my son's been badly tortured, desperately needs a lawyer. And one of the funders didn't fund us, and when we sat down with them, they said, because we heard that maybe you work too closely with the government. Because one of the Minister of Justice had come to our training at one point, which is the only reason we could stay there. But there was this view that if you're not fighting against the government, if you are working inside the prisons and the police, then you're too close, so we can't support you. And there's a way in which that makes no sense, because who else are you going to support? And they said, well, we actually haven't been able to support anyone else in this situation, but we also couldn't support you because we think you're in bed with the government. And I think that dichotomy in terms of the way that we see things makes no sense if we're going to move forward in this world today. It's about how do we collaborate, how do we talk, how do we come together and say, we want to work together on these issues, whether you're on the good side or the bad side, you know, what part of you will contribute to this and how do we move it forward?